Hello, leaders. Hey, this is Paul Grau, and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges, the daily show that equips leaders and entrepreneurs to achieve their greatest potential. This show is sponsored by Current Leadership Coaching, and they help entrepreneurs excel as leaders so they can create super teams. Find out more about them at currentleadershipcoaching.com. Hey, I hope your day is going great. And this whole week, my business partner and wife, Jennifer Grau, is joining us to discuss her new schedule mapping method, which is basically going to set you up for success by helping you increase your productivity. So Jen, yesterday you told us what schedule mapping is and how it's different from time management systems because it's unique to each person. And it begins with information intake analysis, which you explained. It was clear that when each person begins by analyzing how they take in information, they can begin to alter things that need to be adjusted, right?
Yes.
So where are you going to take us today?
So today we're going to talk about the environment intake analysis. Yesterday we defined the information as email, phone calls, text messages, verbal information, social media. Those things are information. Your environment is the material things that you see and hear around you, the physical things.
Kind of like the birds chirping outside our window?
That's right. So once you're aware of how you process things that come in, then you can start to see how the way you handle those things can create additional obstacles for you. Positive or negative, they can become obstacles. They can cause you to procrastinate, become a perfectionist, be overwhelmed, and you need to address those things. So one of the main things that happens in your environment is your desktop. Whatever is on your computer screen or is literally sitting on the desk around you can become an obstacle. If you have a cluttered space, it's disorganized, those things will slow you down because they are also distractions.
I can kind of relate to that.
Yeah, I think I've seen that before. So the key is to establish a workspace where the information that you have coming in and the things that come into your environment are easily managed. They're streamlined. Things like your mail or deliveries, documents, supplies, inventory, and even people that come into your environment.
Like the littles that are constantly interrupting us at home?
Yes. And that's one of the things with everybody working from home or a significant number of people working from home. You have additional obstacles that could slow you down or take your focus away from what you really need to be working on.
I get that.
So here's an example. I know somebody who, instead of cleaning up the books and the documents and the papers and the notepads that are on their desk, they just pick up their computer and they take it to another location. And then pretty soon that stuff becomes cluttered with papers and pens and books and notebooks and documents, and they just pick up and they move again.
Okay, I think I see where this is going.
So that can become a very big obstacle.
Indeed.
But it's also a very clear indicator that that person is overwhelmed. They're looking at all the things that are on their desk as things that they need to get taken care of. And when it starts to pile up, it feels like it's more than you can manage in an entire day. Another example is mail. Now, mail can also be a distraction because it comes in, your secretary or your assistant might plop it down on your desk, and you think, oh, I need to look at that right now and go through it right now, when you might be in the middle of another task. So something that you might want to do is say, okay, all of the mail goes into a specific slot in another room, and whenever I finish this task, I will go in and check it. So that's just an example of something that can be an obstacle, but a way that you can also mitigate that obstacle.
So this whole environmental analysis, are you just analyzing the parts of your environment that are distractions or bogging you down?
No, you should take everything that comes into your environment, because another thing that used to make me very excited was when I got inventory in. I would stop everything to bust that box open and go through all the stuff that was in there. But that might also take me from being able to answer phone calls or deal with things that would generate me income.
How about a slow computer?
Oh my goodness. That can be one of the worst things. It's so defeating to have to wait and wait and wait for it to get up to speed, to open up the things that you need to. And you end up getting very, very frustrated because it's costing you money.
Yeah, time is money. So, I always try to give all the listeners a daily challenge. So, do you have a challenge for them today?
Today, I would say, let's do your environment intake analysis. Take out a sheet of paper and write down the things that come into your environment. Your mail, your deliveries, documents, supplies, people. If you work in an office, you may be having people that drop by just ask you a quick question that takes you off task. So write those things down and then write how you react to them when they come in. Do you deal with it immediately? Do you say, hang on a second? Do you jump in there and open that box? What do you do? Just write it out. It's not that difficult. Just anybody can do this. It's very, very simple.
So make a list of everything in your environment that you're physically seeing, touching, and then we're going to get back to those later in the week?
Yes. Right now, we've just got to take everything in and write it down so that we can do our analysis of what we have coming in.
Okay, so great. That was the second of the 6 primary components and the second of the 3 critical components of this schedule mapping method, right?
Yes.
That's a good stopping point right there today. But be sure to join us tomorrow as Jen will wrap up the third part of the intake analysis of her schedule mapping method. Now, once again, if you have any questions about what we covered today, Jen, how can they contact you?
They can contact me via email at jeng@clcteam.com. That's jeng@clcteam.com.
Well, hey, that's awesome. And be sure to send Jen some emails, and she could analyze how she's going to intake these emails and answer them all. So, hey, we'll catch you tomorrow. And until then,
run to your challenges.